Here's the case. You have a few metal riffs that sound great on their own, but when you try to turn them into a song, it just doesn't work. Separately, they're strong. Together, the song feels boring and incoherent, but why does that happen? Here's the key. The hardest part is not writing riffs, it's making them work together. In this video, I'll show you step by step how to turn a few riffs into a song, with metal music theory behind every decision. At the end, you will hear the finished metal song with a full theory guidance. Let's go! Here's the real issue. Your riffs are not the problem. The problem is how you build the song around them. In music theory, it's called the form. It's how the song develops over time and keeps the listener engaged. When this part is missing, even great riffs start to feel repetitive and disconnected. These are the 7 different riffs I made from just one riff idea in my previous lesson. If I will try to arrange them based on just a sudden inspiration, it will fail me. Without a solid underlying logic, even the best riffs will not work together. And that's the key insight. You don't need better riffs, you need a better way to combine them. So let's dive deeper. The main idea behind the form development is what I call the waveform logic. As your song evolves, it will consist of multiple sections, each with its own purpose and the level of expressiveness. The most common mistake is giving several neighboring sections the same levels of intensity. You're trying your best to create a high-energy song, but from a listener's perspective, it feels like nothing is changing. In terms of the waveform logic, this creates a flat line. And that's exactly how a boring song is formed. Usually it takes about 30 seconds for a listener to feel this, lose an interest, and leave. That's why you need to think about the waveform first. High energy part need to rotate with lighter parts to stay fresh and exciting. That's the main idea of the song form development. This concept is absolutely right, but here's a hidden paradox. In real practice, you should not start from developing the entire song form. That's not effective because it will keep you distracted. Instead, you should focus on one and the most important song section. It's called the song core. As the song develops, it will be made up of different sections that fall into 2 groups, essential and secondary. The essential parts are the verse and the chorus. You can't really have the song without them. Usually, they need a pre-chorus to be smoothly connected, and together, these parts form the core of the song. Everything else is secondary. These sections can vary, and you're free to arrange them however you like. Their purpose is to support and highlight the essential parts. That's why your first goal when writing a song is to build its core. If that's done correctly, every next step becomes the way easier. Let's build the song core for my song. Here's the real example. I will take the riffs from my previous lesson, selecting those which fit best. The verse purpose is to tell a story, so I'll take the main riff supported by different drum patterns. This will help a riff to have different performance over time. The chorus must be the most recognizable part in your song. I pick the riff variation played on higher strings. This will create a contrast to the main riff and help it stand out in the mix. My verse and chorus are pretty different, so I need a pre-chorus as a connector. I choose the simplified riff played on lower strings. It feels less detailed than the verse riff and helps to create a sense of unresolvedness before the chorus arrives. Also, I would like to have the chorus 2, a more intense variation serving as the melody conclusion for the chorus 1. Take a look, the waveform logic is kept and every riff has its purpose, forming the main part of the song. Here's the finished song core. Now it's time to come back to other riff ideas and find their place according to the waveform logic of the song. Some riffs are naturally more or less expressive, so you can place them in the right spot almost instantly. But that's not the only approach. You can also control the expressiveness of a riff yourself. Here are the effective composing tricks to do it. These techniques require no music theory knowledge at all. They're easy and will never fail you. To increase the expressiveness of the song sections, play the melody on higher notes. It immediately creates contrast with what came before. Or use more frequent repeats, just like in speech, repetitions builds tension. Or you can use more intense drums patterns. More frequent hits always add energy and expression. Blast beats are a great example. To increase the expressiveness in my song, I use an ascending melody in the pre-solo. When the same melody is played one octave higher, it naturally creates more tension. Another example is the second chorus. I use more frequent repetitions supported by blast beats. This makes it one of the highest energy sections in the song. To decrease the expressiveness of the song section, play the melody in a lower register. Descending lines naturally create a sense of relaxation. Or use less frequent repeats or even avoid them. Let the melody resolve over 4 or even 8 bars. Longer phrases usually create less tension. Or use less intense or simplified drum patterns. You can even reduce them to just cymbal hits or a simple kick. Here's how I decrease the expressiveness in my song. The example 1 is the bridge. I use longer note durations in guitar line. The drums here are reduced mostly to cymbals. Another example is the build-up. To make it even more relaxed, I extend the note durations even more. Now, as you know the basics, I want to save you from a mistake I made as a beginner. I used to think that waveform logic and these fundamentals were all I need for a strong song development. I was wrong. I was wrong because the real composing begins when you move into more advanced concepts. So let's break down some advanced form development techniques that the industry professionals actually use. Rule number 1. Forget about the long intros in modern music. In the era of streaming, it simply doesn't work. Your music has to engage a listener in seconds. It's a brutal reality, but nowadays the listener is not ready to wait at all. Modern intro has to be high energy, short and striking hard. In my track, the intro is short, just 4 bars, which lasts for just about 8 seconds. To make it high energy, I use aggressive drums with strong contrast accents and furious feel at the end. Trick number 2. Refuse of the main part repeats. It gives the fresh look at the song core, the main part with the verse and chorus. You can simply copy them at the second part of the song, but it's not mandatory. Instead, you can go straight into the chorus and break the typical verse, pre-chorus, chorus structure. This takes the listener directly to the high energy section without unnecessary repetition. Use this approach when the second part of the track starts to feel too long or boring. Trick number 3. The min-max move. The waveform logic doesn't mean that all transitions have to be smooth. Sudden changes can provide a very strong energy rush feel. That's how the drop starts after a light build-up. Check this out. Trick number 4 is a re-engagement part. That's exactly what you need to create a long song section that sounds extreme without losing its energy. I use it for my last section, which includes 2 drops played with chugs. I want the song part to have a maximum level of expressiveness. If these 2 riffs will be placed back to back, the full section will definitely lose its high energy, and the whole song part will lose its impact. That's why I placed the low energy riff that has a re-engaging function. That helps to keep a listener's attention and hold the high energy for the entire part. Let's make the full form overview. The waveform logic is kept throughout the full song. The intro is short and high energy. Then goes the song core, so the listener hears the main song part in less than 30 seconds after the song begins. The form also doesn't feel generic. Take a look. I don't repeat sections too often, so the beginning, the middle, and the end of the song each have a distinct structure. Also, I'm focused not to use the same techniques throughout the song. At the beginning, transitions are smooth. In the middle, I don't copy the song core to create a more unique feel. Toward the end, I use sudden changes and the re-engagement section. This variety of techniques keep the song dynamic and prevents it from sounding generic. Please support me by hitting the like and subscribe button. That really helps me to grow this channel. I try my best to share all the composing knowledge I have so you can write your best metal. Thanks for watching, and let's hear the final result.